Hi, welcome to Yarn Crafts by Allison. I'm Allison and I'm so glad that you're here. Today I will be just doing a little knit and chat podcast, knitting update. I took a few months off. I have some seasonal depression stuff that I was dealing with, so I just decided let's take some things off my plate. Like, I don't want this to ever be like something I'm stressed about, so I just decided I would take a break. And I've been struggling to get back into doing a podcast of any kind because I found I was kind of dreading the editing process, which I usually enjoy, but I was finding that to be a barrier. So I decided today what I will be doing is I'm just gonna post this unedited. Whatever fun little rambly knitting commentary comes out of my mouth is what you're gonna get. Ooh, I just dropped a stitch. So whatever happens, and we'll just have a fun little real life knit and chat. So I will go ahead and actually, what I will say, I was also putting a lot of pressure on myself to like get a bunch of notes together and make sure I had all of my finished objects that I've done since the last time I posted, and make sure I had all the details about those. And I just decided that's a little silly, and I'm just gonna grab whatever I can find, and whatever I feel like talking about, I'll talk about, and that's okay. So we can go ahead and get started with what I'm working on today. This is a pair of short row heel worsted weight socks that I'm just kind of doing by eye. I don't really have a pattern. It's just a vanilla sock with a short row heel. I'm using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in the color Mineral Heather. Yes, Mineral Heather. I had bought a sweater's quantity of this a while back when I did a big yarn order. Knit Picks was doing a great big sale in the fall, so I ordered a few sweaters quantities, and I ended up using only about 2/3 of it for this sweater, maybe half of it for this sweater, because I held this yarn double with another color of Knit Picks palette to do this Felix cardigan. But because it was a bigger gauge than I had kind of planned for as a sweater's quantity, I used way less of it than what I bought. So I think I used like 8 or 9 balls of this. That sounds right. 8 balls for this and 4 balls of the palette to do this whole sweater. So I had several of these left over. So I have done a sweater for my daughter, which actually was my first intarsia project with this. This was the main body, and then I did this really cute unicorn intarsia project in all these other colors of just scrap yarn that I had laying around. And I'd never done intarsia before, and I really enjoyed it. Actually, I've been doing some experiments in like stranded color work and intarsia, and I thought I had assumed I would like stranded color work a lot, which I do, but I'm finding the tension really tricky. I thought I would like that a lot more than I have, and I assumed, I don't know, I think I was just daunted by intarsia because of the idea of managing all the colors, but I actually found I loved it. I didn't love the pattern writing of the pattern that I used. I didn't love the way the author did the shaping, but I loved the unicorn. I loved the intarsia. I loved that aspect of it. And it was a pieced sweater for her. So I, did the sleeves in the front and the back all separately, and then sewed it together at the end. So I didn't love how all those were shaped, but I really enjoyed that project. But I only used a few balls of this to make that sweater. So I still have I don't know, 2 or 3 of these left still after doing all these projects with it. So I was wanting just a little small circumference something just to have in my purse, and now I'm just having so much fun with it that I'm still working on it. But I had started a headband, like an ear warmer. I cast on, I think, 48 stitches, and I was just doing a tube, and I decided I didn't like it. I didn't want that. I didn't want this as an ear warmer, so I tore that out and decided to cast on some nice woolly socks instead. So I cast on 40 stitches on a US 4, so a 3.5 millimeter needle. This is a 9-inch circular. I'll have much more to say about 9-inch circular needles in a minute here, to talking about other sock projects. But for these, I did cast on 40 stitches, and I just did a 1x1 ribbed cuff, and then just I think I did 40 rows for the leg. And then I've done like from here on, just today. I did a short row heel, and now I'm just working on the foot, and I'm having a lot of fun just kind of doing my own thing with these. But I love this Wool of the Andes yarn. It's inexpensive, and it feels a little bit rough at first. I don't think people with super sensitive skin would want to wear this against skin, but I can. I wear a t-shirt under this cardigan, but like on my arms, it's no problem at all. I don't find it itchy. And as socks, I can wear really itchy wool as socks, and it doesn't bother me at all. So that's my worsted weight socks. I will probably, if I had to guess, finish this sock by the end of the day. These are just, I mean, it's worsted weight yarn on 3.5 millimeter needles. It is flying off my needles. I don't expect these to hold up super well, to be honest, because there's no, this is just 100% wool. So I don't expect these to like last a long time, but I've never done 100% wool socks before, so I thought it would just be fun to knit them up and just kind of see how long they will last compared to, oh, I'm shaking my phone here, compared to something with a little bit of nylon in it. So just a fun little experiment. But I will talk now about my Felix cardigan. So this, last time I talked to you, was a whip, and I finished this, I think like a few weeks later after my last podcast. I had finished this, and I love it so much. This is the Felix cardigan by, I don't remember the author. You can find this on Ravelry, the Felix cardigan. I did these really fun, like multicolored, like I think they're made of plastic, but they're like shell look. They're made to look like shell. But they're like green and blue and brown and purple, and I went in thinking I was gonna do like dark wood buttons, and I saw these and I thought, these are so cool. So this is my Felix cardigan. I love this cardigan. I finished it. I managed to wear it a few times before the weather got too warm. I mean, this is an Aran weight cardigan. This is with the Wool of the Andes plus Knit Picks palette, 2 different colors, and they're both kind of multicolored colorways. So I ended up with this really, it's not going to show up very well in this lighting, but just this really cool multicolored marled color, and I love this thing so much. I can't wait for fall to come back so I can just wear the heck out of this thing. It fits me so well. The only funny little thing that I accidentally did was the pattern calls for you to do the button band on this side and the button band on this side, and then you do the collar later. So when I measured to see where I wanted my buttonholes to be, I went from the top of here and measured down, forgetting that there would be a buttonhole at the top as well, a button at the top as well. So I have this funny little 2 buttons next to each other and then regularly spaced buttons the rest of the way down. So that was just a rookie mistake. It really doesn't bother me. I think it's actually kind of cool to have 2 right here. I picked the 2 prettiest buttons for the top. So, because they're all a little bit different. But it's too warm to wear these right now, or wear this right now. But I really love it. And it's just a fun, like, playing with color, but like kind of in a safe way, but like in the sunshine. I mean, this like greens and pinks and stuff pop out at you that you aren't expecting from a seemingly very kind of chill colorway. So that's my Felix cardigan. And I will show a couple other things. First thing I'll show is my pearl sweater. I've been working on this quite a bit, actually. My husband was out of town a few weeks ago, and I pulled this back out and worked on this while I watched TV while he was gone. So I think I did like 2 cable repeats while he was out of town. Still just kind of trusting that this is going to block out and fit me. It won't be too much positive ease, but like there should be a little bit of positive ease. I'm just having to trust that that really will happen based on my swatch and me doing the math. But still loving this, still just chugging away at it. I mean, oh my gosh. Every time I look at this thing, I just swoon all over again because it's so pretty. Oh, so pretty. But this is the Fiber Seed Sprout DK. Bought this at Kentucky Sheep and Fiber. I never remember what the actual name of this is. It's in Lexington. It's Kentucky Sheep and Wool. Don't quote me on that. It's great. It's next week, 2 weekends from now. I'll be there. It's a wonderful time. Totally check it out if you're in the like Ohio, Kentucky, southwestern Indiana area. It's in Lexington. It's like $5 to get in. It's a really great yarn festival. That was my first one I'd ever gone to last year, and it was great. Anyway, the next thing I'll talk about is, so I have gotten into I've gotten into using 9-inch circulars to do socks, and I have knit. This is the 3rd pair of socks I've knit in the last few weeks. This is the first of 2, but I did my first afterthought heel. So I got a pair of size 0 circular needles. They're around. I don't know where they are. They're somewhere. It doesn't matter. I got a pair of size 0 9-inch circulars, and I am loving knitting socks on them. I enjoy knitting socks on DPNs, but it's remarkably faster if you can figure out. I mean, it's kind of a little bit of a learning curve with the 9-inch circulars because I have to hold the needle just a little bit differently than I do with a regular, a larger circumference circular needle or DPNs. You just have to hold them differently. But once I figured that out, I was flying. I made a YouTube short a couple weeks ago. Excuse me. I made a YouTube short a couple weeks ago asking about a heel and toe contrast color for the first pair of socks I made on circulars. That was my first pair of afterthought heel socks. They were for my sister. I've already given them to her, so they won't be here, but they were done out of Patton's Croy. You can go look at my last short to see what they looked like. They were really pretty. Green, pinks and light browns and stuff, really pretty, self-striping. I ended up going with the brown heel and toe, and they fit my sister great. They were really, really pretty. And then I immediately cast on a pair for me. So this is another Patton's Croy colorway. Couldn't tell you the name of the colorway. I love Patton's Croy. What a great yarn. So inexpensive. They have 1,001 colorways, and it's just a really nice yarn. So these are for me. This is going to be an afterthought heel. I've put the heel on this one. Wow, you can see right through that. I haven't quite figured out how to keep there from being a gap at the heel on my afterthought heel, so I'm going to have to do a little more research and kind of figure that out. Despite that, wow, you really can just see straight through that. Despite that, I really love these. And I think I will keep the afterthought heel in my arsenal, maybe try to perfect that heel hole issue. But so I haven't done my my heel on my second one. You can maybe see my contrast yarn right there. It's that blue line. That'll be where my heel is inserted. And if you haven't done an afterthought heel before, totally try it. You have to do a little bit of setup, but it's super duper easy. And then once I go to put the heel in, I'll just use my DPNs and pick up stitches above and below this blue, and then remove the blue, and then you've just got yourself a little hole in your tube, and then you just do a little wedge heel, and it's really, really easy. And I mean, this sock fits me really well, so I highly recommend, if you haven't, attempting a afterthought heel, because it was really fun. Let's see, and I did that afterthought heel and the toe for these in this gray scrap. This is discontinued yarn from Hobby Lobby. Oh, I forget what they even called it, but it's discontinued as of like 3 years ago or something. This is 50% wool, I think, and like 50% acrylic, maybe 60-40. It's something like that. So there's more acrylic in this, which I actually thought was kind of nice, because like heels and toes tend to get the most wear on a pair of socks, so having more synthetic in this really doesn't bother me. It might help these last a little longer. The Patons Croy does have a little bit of nylon in it. I don't remember the ratio, and I don't have a ball band in front of me right now, but these are nice. Let's see. I will show you my stranded colorwork project, because it's oh so cute. It's this little sweater for my son. Ooh, I brought some extra needles with me. You go over here. There we go. So this is the Dinosaur Friends. Oh, shut up. Look at that. This is the Dinosaur Friends sweater. I can't remember who the author of that pattern is either. But again, it's on Ravelry. Dino Friends sweater. Like, look at the little guys. Now, this chart was a little bit of a pain, just because of the nature of all of the dinosaurs being different. It's not like a repetitive, like certain number of stitches repeat across the whole row. I mean, it's a picture, so every single row is different. There's no repetitive rows at all. So that made it take longer, but I really, really, really love the end result that I got. I did go up a needle size in my stranded colorwork. I know a lot of people do that, and I have found that I have to as well, which doesn't bother me, going up a needle size. But this will be a little, and there's no short rows or anything, so the front and the back are exactly the same. But this will be a little sweater for my son this fall, once I come back around to actually putting sleeves on it. But when I'm working on something that isn't like weather appropriate, once I get to sleeves, I kind of tend to slow down. Well, I do that no matter what, but if it's still weather appropriate, I'm also feeling like, ooh, let's get this finished, so whether it's for me or my kids, like, so we can get some wear out of it. But since the weather's too warm to wear this now, this is kind of just chilling until I feel like coming back to it, because I didn't feel like knitting these sleeves. but that's okay. I don't think I have anything else to talk to you about today. I did finish the body on my, what is this? What pattern is this? It's Rebecca Clow, Stick Season, the Stick Season sweater. I finished the whole body, and I just, again, haven't been able to bring myself to pick up stitches for the sleeves because I just didn't feel like it, so I haven't. I'm just kind of going with the flow in my knitting and kind of just casting things on at will and just having fun with it. All right, that's all I have to talk about today. There's a couple other things I've made since we talked last that I haven't actually shown you, but I can't think of what they are, so that's okay. Thanks for sticking around for this long, if you have. Thank you for putting up with my little bit rambly, well, I'm always a little rambly, but a little bit extra rambly today because I shall not be editing this. So thank you for being here. I hope you get some lovely knitting time today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.